And hello YouTube, this is Thomas Judge back once again with another YouTube video, and as I often try to do, this is something slightly different. What I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be doing a short series doing an overview of the Marvel Zombies line of comics. I'll give you a bit of background. This is not meant to be a topical or controversial thing. I just felt like reading something to do with zombies, something to do with infection, horror and all that sort of stuff. And so I actually read Deceased, which is a pretty recent limited series by Tom Taylor. The hardcover just came out. I've got the hardcover. I read it. It's absolutely excellent. I'm currently reading through Deceased Unkillables, which is the sequel series. And that's also excellent. So I just thought it was great, and it kind of whet my appetite for something in the same sort of vein. As a result, I got thinking, and I did remember that actually about 10, 12 years ago, there was a series by Marvel called Marvel Zombies, which is actually really similar to the Deceased idea, or at least that's what I thought it was. So I thought, you know what, I'll check it out. And I do remember Marvel Zombies because it has these very distinctive covers, which I'm showing you here. It had lots of different artists doing zombie pastiches and zombie homages to really famous existing Marvel covers like AF-15, which is Amazing Fantasy 15, which is a very iconic Spider-Man picture. Also the introduction of Wolverine in the Hulk, and a couple of other ones which you'll see here. I'm doing some side-by-side montages so you can see the sort of thing I mean. But Marvel Zombies actually did loads of these. In fact, there's so many. There's a separate book available called Marvel Zombies The Covers, which are just zombified versions or zombified variants of really famous comic book covers. So if you're a fan of kind of alternate art or variant art, you should definitely think about checking those out. Anyway, I remember those, and it got me thinking. I thought, oh, I'll check out Marvel Zombies. I fancy a bit of zombie reading. So it seemed pretty straightforward because, as far as I knew, there were 5 series and they were numbered really clearly. So there's Marvel Zombies 1, which is the original series you can see here. That was followed by Marvel Zombies 2, labelled very clearly, and then Marvel Zombies 3, similarly labelled very clearly, Marvel Zombies 4, and then ending, or so I thought, with Marvel Zombies 5. And that seemed pretty straightforward. I thought to myself, that's fine, 5 series, they're between 4 and 5 issues a piece, so you're looking at, around about 20 to 25 issues there. That seemed like a decent bite-sized bit of reading, so I thought I'd jump into it. Unfortunately, when I jumped into it, I discovered that it was much more complicated than that. There are spin-offs, there are bits that go in between, there are sort of intersecting different Marvel universes and so on. And in fact, in total, I ended up having to read 127 single issues to actually get a decent grasp of the Marvel Zombies universe. And if you're familiar with my channel, you will have no doubt that I went off and made a reading map of that, and that map looks like this. And this is what I'm going to be using largely to talk you through the next 3 short videos of exactly what the zombie comics are for Marvel, where they fit in, what the sequence is, and how you're meant to read them. Now, to start off with, I should point out that the Marvel Zombie Universe was initially called Universe 2149, which is a particular sort of Marvel thing. They number their different realities. So the standard Marvel reality we're all used to is called Marvel 616, and then there's Marvel 2149, which is the Zombie Universe. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into the map in more detail, and I'm going to talk people through it during the following series of videos. So with no further ado, starting here, this is the map in an interactive way, and so I'll show you where I actually started. So here in the middle you can see Marvel Zombies as the first series. That's actually not where this starts. It actually starts up here in the Ultimate Universe. So the Ultimate Universe is going to be the topic of another series of videos I may do at some point in the future. I'm a big fan of the Ultimate Universe, and I do actually remember the storyline I'm about to tell you. I just didn't realise that actually formed part of the Marvel Zombie storyline. So to start off with here, we're going to be talking about Ultimate Fantastic Four. And here at the top, we've got Volume 5 of the trade paperback, which is called Crossover. This volume collects issues 21 to 26. And the first 3 issues of that are part of the Marvel Zombie Universe. So it's issues 21, 22 and 23. The remaining 3 issues are a totally separate story arc called Tomb of Namor. So you can either pick up the trade paperback there if you want and just read the first part of it, or you can just read those 3 issues, which are 21 to 23, on something like Marvel Unlimited. After you've read that, you still have to stay in the Marvel Ultimate Universe, because you need to look at Volume 6, which I've got here, which is called Frightful. As you can maybe make out from the slightly blurry cover, Frightful is much more zombie focused, and again ties into the Marvel Zombie Universe. Volume 6 contains issues 27 and 32 of Ultimate Fantastic Four. And the first part of that run is a story arc called President Thor, which is great, but it's nothing to do with zombies. But the last 3 issues, issues 30, 31 and 32, are again part of the zombie universe. And it's a direct sequel to the bit above it, which is Crossover here. And it then leads quite seamlessly into the next bit, which is the main actual Marvel Zombie Universe. Now there's going to be a lot to talk about. And as you can see there in the middle, it does start to get a little bit confusing. So I'm not going to talk about it in today's video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to save the main bulk of this for talking about in the next video. And then the stuff at the bottom here and some of the stuff at the side I'll talk about in the third and final video. But to start with, if you decide to read along with this reading guide, start off with Ultimate Fantastic Four. There are the 2 trade paperbacks. Both of those are collected in an oversized hardcover I'm showing you here. This is the 3rd oversized hardcover for Ultimate Fantastic Four, and that collects issues 21 to 32. And so whilst we're going to start there, in tomorrow's video we're going to jump into some more detailed stuff and try to really get a grasp on what is going on with the zombie universe. Alright guys, I hope that was helpful. As always, please like, comment, subscribe. Please let me know what you think. How's everyone holding up during these difficult times, and what sort of content would you like to see on the channel to help tide you over the coming few months? As always, please support the channel by heading over to nogodsorkings.com, or you can go to Amazon and pick up my episodic novel No Gods or Kings. The first installment is absolutely free. In fact, all the installments are free if you're on Kindle Unlimited. So please, while everyone's at home and trying to find ways to fill the time, why not check it out? Until next time guys, stay classy.